It's gonna be a full moon tonight, so charge your crystals. Have your selenite for the moon. It may not be full, but it's getting close to full. Keep the selenites beneath the knees, keeping you grounded and cool. This one's real awesome against the sunlight. This was given to me as a gift. It's Tiger Eye. Shungite, a good grounding stone. Tourmaline, black tourmaline, keeping you grounded. These are great near EMFs. Keep down with the EMFs in between you and it. The black stone, grounding stone. You just gotta see the face. The face. You looking for the face. With it. Clear quartz, pineal gland. The acorn in the mind. The love-a-lots, labradorite. The love in the forest. You're looking for the face. You're looking for the face. If you have to, blow on it. Like when you eat something bad and that bad air stop up to the heart, making you not even be able to breathe. Have you ever experienced a gas bubble? That's bad air. It feels like a knife going into your heart. Like if you just inhale too deep, you're gonna cut into yourself. Well, your breath is just as strong as that. And if you just when you cut through it. Pink tiger eye. Don't think about it too much. It's about you. It is you. It's gonna be a full moon tonight. Yeah, she's gonna come right through here. I'm gonna put my selenites up for her, right with my moonstone. It's gonna be great. But it was Sabbath today, so I'm not supposed to make up my bed. It really, really irritates me. I just want to just make up my bed. It's like, no, you just don't do that. It's about being prepared to see your final beauty, like the mirror at the end of the week. What have you done for yourself? What have you prepared to celebrate in? Like, do you need to cook? If you need to cook, then you need to prepare. Like, you're not making your time. You're making someone else's time. Anyways, that's not what I'm trying to talk about here right now. But it's in there. It's in there. I gotta get my reeds. All my reeds, right? If you want to know about Star Wars, this ain't the myth. Boom. I'm ready. I'm going right now to my room. This is where I usually like to read. Gotta be real careful with these. Alright, so remember what I was saying, between you and it. Alright, like, this is hematite. It looks magnetic, it looks metal. It looks metallic, I mean. Hematite, another grounding stone. I just love hematite. Like, how it feels in my hand just feels like a bullet running through my forces. Like, it just feels like it's giving me something. And so you put it in between you and it, right? When you're on your phone, all right, just like that, just to keep you grounded. Anyways, my teacher, my guide, Laruga, I need to study her more. It's like the way it gives it to me on YouTube on my playlist is whack. Like, it's like I can't select what videos one by one. It only gives me the whole playlist to go through. And then when it gives it to me on the menu, it like won't let me scroll through the menu to choose either. So it's like it's trying to tell me I gotta run through the whole playlist one by one. And it's like, I don't mind going through selecting them, so I can pick and choose what I think I'm prepared to do. But I always watch them first before I go and attempt to go through the lesson, because I know it's going to take me more time. Anyways, this is about a day of active recovery. And it should let me replay this and not make me go back through something, because I don't trust these, man. They be tapping other places you didn't even tap yet. Like, reading your mind or something. Reading your side-eye mind. Like, replay. See, now what's it giving to me? See, it's giving me something else right now. It's not giving me anything. I just hit replay right now. It's gonna make me play this something else. This one I just start really getting on my nerves just a little bit. Like, alright, here we are.
Today our focus will be spending time in nature, or even another term known as forest bathing.
Yeah.
So whenever we spend time in nature, it's very pacifying to the nervous system and helps to instill a state of calm. So we've been learning the Ashtanga Yoga practice and really activating the body, learning something new, challenging ourselves. And this is also a really special time to get still within yourself and just to appreciate the energy that nature gives you. Even my own teacher recommends spending time in nature, and there's also been some studies done that when you look out at a panoramic view, which nature always gives us, it also has a calming effect on our body, on our minds. And I find that to be really interesting because in modern culture we tend to be like looking toward like our devices or our computer screens, and so it's good to be out in an environment where it instills again that sense of calm and also connection to the earth. If you're in an urban area, try to find a park, try to find some green space, or if you can get close to a forest, walking in nature, and also just taking a moment to breathe in the fresh air, take a moment to look at the surroundings. And I just always find that when I spend time in nature, I feel so much better. when I end my day taking that time. And so personally, I have the luxury of living really close to forests and a few parks. And I always find that whenever I feel a little bit extra agitated or stressed about certain decisions I have to make or whatever it may be, that whenever I go out in nature, it just has a really calming effect. And it just kind of sets me straight whenever I feel like confusion or doubt about things. Just something about nature, and when you also just think about, sometimes I think about even like this rock that I'm on, like where did it come from and how old it must be, and how many ages it's probably lived through, and it's
That's
probably
cool.
going to be here much longer than I'm here, possibly. It's
That's
an
a neat
interesting thing
thought.
to contemplate, and even when you're with trees and you think about how old they are and how wise they potentially are.
Yeah.
So I just find it to be fascinating and to think about things that go beyond myself. Just has a way of putting things into greater perspective.
Okay. I think that that's really cool. All right, so that's that part. And there's this part. September's edition of Natural Grocers magazine. Like, it's like a flyer. And right here on page 26, I found something that's really cool pertaining to that lesson with Laruga. It's right here. An easy way to boost immune competence. Spend time in nature. We know that spending time in nature is good for us. In fact, research has found that regular exposure to green spaces, whether a forest, a city park, or your garden, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and high blood pressure, as well as supports good mental health and better overall health. And some researchers say that it's nature's ability to enhance immune function that is central to all of those other health benefits. Researchers know that exposure to nature puts the body into rest and digest mode and out of fight or flight mode. When our bodies are in rest and digest, it allows the body to build strong immunity. An even more intriguing way that nature exposure enhances immunity was discovered via the Japanese art of forest bathing, or Shinrin Yoku, which is simply just being in nature, not hiking, not exercising, but just sitting quietly and taking in the green surroundings. You, the green surrounding you, whether in a forest or your yard. By studying the effects of forest bathing, researchers have discovered that breathing in phytoncides. Oh, wait. Sorry. Airborne chemicals released by trees, phytoncides, and plants that protect them from disease have antibacterial and antifungal properties that boost our immune systems. One way in which they do this is by increasing the number of natural killer cells, specialized cells involved in innate immunity, and decreasing inflammation. One recent study found that the increased activity in natural killer cells from a 3-day, 2-night forest bathing trip lasted for more than 30 days. So the next time you need to go camping, or even just spend time sitting outside, taking in the trees, think of it as a long-lasting boost to your immunity system. Woohoo! That's great. I think that my teacher, Laruga, I think she posted at um 3 years ago. What? And I just found it. Hello. And then check this out right here. Page 54. I'm gonna close this down for a minute, because it's kind of in the way. Alright, so on page 54 right here. Alright, it's in this chapter called Your Brain and Nerves Cannot Operate Without Black Melanin. And some of you might get mad, but I didn't write the book, I'm only the messenger. Alright, I think it's on page 54 right here, okay? Because it's a lot to go through, right? And it's just, I just want to share this one part pertaining to this paragraph right here. I think it's this. Yeah, I think it's this part right here. I'm gonna try to hold it steady, but I'm not reading from the screen because I can't read that way. I can't read anything on here. Like, I just can't. I'm sorry. Alright, so. Alright, look. Melanin's main properties. It absorbs, stores, and transforms energy. It has black hole properties. Black melanin can convert light energy to sound energy and back again. Melanin is black because its chemical structure allows no energy to escape. It is also black because black is the perfect absorber of light and all energy frequencies, making black melanin the super absorber of energy and light. Thus, scientists describe it as acting like a black hole. Melanin can rearrange its chemical structure to absorb all energy across the radiant energy spectrum. Sunlight, X-rays, music, sound, radar, radio waves, and can transmute and store this energy for later use. Melanin can rearrange its chemical structure to absorb all energy across the radiant energy spectrum. Sunlight, X-rays, I think I just read that. Music, sound, radar, radio waves, and can transmute and store this energy for later use. Melanin can absorb a great amount of energy and yet not produce a tremendous amount of heat when it absorbs this energy because it can transform harmful energy into useful energy. According to Dr. Leon Edelstein, melanin can absorb tremendous quantities of energy of all kinds, including energy from sunlight. I feel that. X-ray machines and energy that is formed within cells during the metabolism of cells. He theorized that melanin has the ability to neutralize the potentially harmful effects of these energies. In Dr. Frank Barr's theory, matter is shaped and structured by light. Word, sound, power. That is, matter is organized through the interaction of molecules composed of slowed down light. These molecular melanin combinations eat light in order to maintain, expand, and evolve matter. The more highly evolved the species, the more complex its biological capacity to use light. Melanin has superconducting properties. It shows evidence of being a room temperature biological superconductor. Normally, superconductivity occurs only at very low temperatures. Melanin is like a battery. Melanin may be viewed as a battery that is partially charged and can always accept an electrical charge. When sunlight or other energy comes in contact with a melanin battery, It increases the charge of the battery to a certain degree. When the energy is captured, the battery has more energy to use in the body. This means that Black human can charge up his melanin just by being in the sun or around the right type of musical sounds or other energy sources. Melanin in the eye receives light and converts it into the electrical energy that comes across as an image, which is why you don't ever forget somebody when you see them. Now, we all gotta be charged and stay grounded in Forest Bay, because we are all light walking upon the earth. And crystals help you charge, but you gotta keep your crystals charged. And selenites is a good place for them in a plant. And some stones can withstand sunlight and the others can't, like the selenite. It's great for charging your crystals though, and that makes them real interesting. They're real beautiful under the moonlight. They're like really cooling. I like to put them in between my knee, like my towers, like these two babies. My towers. These right. I love how they sound. I love that. It feels so cool too. It's like so cooling on my feet. Like it just feels great, especially in between my knee, like my sore knee. Like fall asleep. All right, so there's that part, and then also right, there's this part right that I should have backed up on, and I think it was on 174. Right here. The human body and symbolism. The oldest, the most profound, the most universal of all symbols in the human body, or is the human body. The Greeks, Persians, Egyptians, and Hindus considered a philosophical analysis of man's triune nature to be an indispensable part of ethical and religious training. The mysteries of every nation taught that the laws, elements, and powers of the universe were epitomized in the human constitution, that everything which existed outside of man had its analog within man. The universe, being immeasurable in its immensity and inconceivable in its profundity, was beyond mortal estimation. Even the gods themselves could comprehend but a part of the inaccessible glory which was their source. When temporarily permeated with divine enthusiasm, man may transcend for a brief moment the limitations of his own personality and behold, in part, that celestial effulgence, light, in which all creation is bathed. Like that part we read about right here, melanin in the eye receives light and converts it into the electrical energy that comes across as an image. In which all creation is bathed. Behold that celestial effulgence. But even in his periods of greatest illumination, man is incapable of imprinting upon the substance of his rational soul a perfect image of the multiform expression of celestial activity. Recognizing the futility of attempting to cope intellectually with that which transcends the comprehension of the rational faculties, the early philosophers turned their attention from the inconceivable divinity to man himself, within the narrow confines of whose nature they found manifested all the mysteries of the external spheres. As a natural outgrowth of this practice, there was fabricated a secret theological system in which God was considered as the grand man, and conversely, man as the little God. Continuing this analog, the universe was regarded as a man, and conversely, man as a miniature universe. The greater universe was termed the macrocosm. The great world or body and the divine life or spiritual entity controlling its functions was called the macroprosopos. Man's body or the individual human universe was termed the microcosm. And that microprosopos, the pagan mysteries, were primarily wait, hold up. Man's body, or the individual human universe, was termed the microcosm, and the divine life or spiritual entity controlling its functions was called the microprosophos. The pagan mysteries were primarily concerned with instructing neophytes in the true relationship existing between the macrocosm and the microcosm. In other words, between God and man. Accordingly, the key to these analogies between the organs and functions of the microcosmic man and those of the macrocosmic man constituted one of the most prized possessions of the early initiates. In Isis Unveiled, H.P. Blavatsky summarizes the pagan concept of man as follows. Man is a little world, a microcosm inside the great universe. Like a fetus, he is suspended by all his three spirits in the matrix of the macrocosmos. And while his terrestrial body is in constant symphony with its parent, Earth, his astral soul lives in union with the sidereal anima mundi. He is in it, and he is in it as it is in him. For the world pervading element fills all space and is space itself, only shoreless and infinite. As to his third spirit, the divine, what is it but an infinitesimal ray? As to his third spirit, the divine, what is it but an infinitesimal ray? The suspended fetus? One of the countless radiations proceeding directly from the highest cause, the spiritual light of the world, ? This is the trinity, or organic and inorganic nature, the spiritual and the physical, which are three in one, and of which Proclus says that the first monad is the eternal God, the second, eternity, the third, the paradigm or pattern of the universe, the three constituting the intelligible triad. Long before the introduction of idolatry into religion, the early priests caused the statue of a man to be placed in the sanctuary of the temple. This human figure symbolized the divine power in all its intricate manifestations. Thus, the priests of antiquity accepted man as their textbook, and through the study of him, learned to understand the greatest and more abstruse mysteries of the celestial scheme of which they were a part. It is not improbable that this mysterious figure standing over the primitive altars was made in the nature of a mannequin, and like certain emblematic hands in the mystery schools, was covered with either carved or painted hieroglyphs. The statue may have opened, thus showing the relative positions of the organs, bones, muscles, nerves, and other parts. After ages of research, The mannequin became a mass of intricate hieroglyphs and symbolic figures. Every part had its secret meaning. The measurements formed a basic standard by means of which it was possible to measure all parts of cosmos. It was a glorious composite emblem of all the knowledge possessed by the sages and hierophants. Then came the age of idolatry. Alright, the mysteries decayed from within. The six secrets were lost, and none knew the identity of the mysterious man who stood over the altar. It was remembered only that the figure was a sacred and glorious symbol of the universal power. And it finally came to be looked upon as a god, the one in whose image man was made. Having lost the knowledge of the purpose for which the mannequin was originally constructed, a map, a tool, a device, a vice, the veil, the dragon's tail, the rebirth, the suspended fetus, the life come again. The priests worshipped this effigy until at last their lack of spiritual understanding brought the temple down in ruins about their heads, and the statue crumbled with the civilizations that had forgotten its meaning. Alright, let's go back to this part. The abracadabra. The tetragrammaton in the human heart. The tetragrammaton, or four-lettered name of God, is here arranged as a tetrax with an inverted human heart. Beneath the name Jehovah is shown the transformed into Jehoshua by the interpolation of the radiant Hebrew letter Shin. The drawing as a whole represents the throne of God and his hierarchies within the heart of man and the first book of his Libri Apologetici. Jacob Bohm. Hold up. Let me just try to get that right here. Libri Apologetici. Jacob Joam or Bohm thus describes the meaning of the symbol. For we men have one book in common, which points to God. Each has it within him. Excuse me. Each has it within himself, which is the priceless name of God. Its letters are the flames of his love, which he out of his heart, in the priceless name of Jesus, has revealed in us. Read these letters in your heart and spirits, and you have books enough. All the writings of the children of God direct you unto that one book, for therein lie all the treasures of wisdom. This book is Christ in you. I need my water, see? I'm gonna just set this down real quick. You're gonna be okay. Keep it in copper, purify. And come back to the black melanin. You don't believe me, man? Keep drinking out your plastic. Alright, there's this part about the tetrix. I actually don't remember what page. I'm just trying to remember by image right now. Goes back. Is it really this far back? Yeah, it is. Alright, look. The tetrix. Dion of Smyrna declares that the 10 dots, or tetrix, tetra, or Pythagoras, was a symbol of the greatest importance, for to the discerning mind it revealed the mystery of universal nature. The Pythagoreans bound themselves by the following oath: by him who gave to our soul the tetracts, which hath the fountain and root of ever springing nature. Excuse me. The cube, the star. By connecting the 10 dots of the tetracts, 9 triangles are formed. 6 of these are involved in the forming of the cube. The same triangles, when lined, are properly drawn between them. Also revealed the 6-pointed star, with a dot in the center. Only 7 dots are used in forming the cube and the star. Quabalistically, the 3 unused corner dots represent the threefold invisible causal universe. The threefold invisible causal universe. While the 7 dots involved in the cube and the star are the Elohim, the spirits of the 7 creative periods. The Sabbath, or the 7th day, is a central dot. It talks more about the Sabbath later on. But look, they. So there's this whole part about the letter Shin. This whole book is about the Word of God, making the light, making the life, making light, making life, building earth, and it's all about the letters and the war against darkness and the etching of the light of his words through space and the galactal battles. All right, and there's letters in each, right? There's letters in each, like the ancient Hebrew letters, right? Man, I didn't write this book, right? Peter S. Berg wrote this book, I think. Anyways, I don't got a lot of time on this, but look, the letter Shin. Alright, was created for mercy. There was so much harshness between good and evil that Shin was the balance. I think that's why there's 3. The teeter-tot in between. Look what number 6. Look. Yeah. It's stopping me at 41 minutes. But there was a galactal battle that made Earth.